Hey guys, there's Chuck back here again at the reloading bench, and I made a really amateur mistake the other day while reloading, and I didn't notice it until I had all these rounds done. It was like 93. All right, now. This is a pretty pronounced one. Alright, now, I don't know if you can see that or not, but right here, what was happening, you can kind of see a little more right there. You can see the shoulder sticking out a little bit there. Alright, and when I rub my finger across it, I could feel it. I could feel the slope up, the sudden stop there. What happened is I got a RCBS small base die kit. Okay, and there's the decapping resizing die, and that is the bullet seating crimp die. Okay. Now I followed the RCBS instructions, or at least I thought I did, and I reloaded. I guess, like I said, 92 rounds or so, something like that. And with all the exception of this 6 here, these 93 rounds, not 92, 93, all had this deformation. I think you can really see that now. It's kind of like a bell almost around the shoulder. What was happening was I had the crimp set too deeply, and what was going on, you can kind of see the really harsh crimp I had on these. And I like I said, it was my first time reloading 223. I was a little overexcited, and I probably didn't take the time that I should have taken in doing that. So these will not chamber in my AR. I tried cycling a few through. I took the bolt apart and pulled the firing pin out just for slam fire safety, and ran the bolt back and forth a few times. And what was happening is these rounds were getting stuck in the chamber. What's going to have to happen is either one of two things. Well, one is definitely going to happen is all these bullets are going to get pulled with this Hornady Camlock bullet puller. Lifesaver right here, especially if you're a first-time reloader. Invest, I think it was like, I don't remember now, I got it over a year ago. It was like $30 or something like that. And I got the 9mm collar because that's what I started out with. But it's so easy and it's so nice, and it beats the hell out of that thing, the kinetic bullet puller, because I fucked up my 9mm rounds too when I did it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run all these bullets up, or these rounds rather, run them up the press, pull the bullet, retrieve the powder, because I'm using 24 grains of AR comp, and that's quite a bit powder wasted right there. So I'm definitely going to at least recover the bullet and the powder out of these rounds. I don't know. I have 2 sets of dies for 223, and what I did was the first set of dies I bought where are they? There they are. Lee Ultimate Dies, the 223 Remingtons. And then after I'd already bought them, I started watching more YouTube videos on reloading 223, and I noticed that a lot of guys were talking about small base dies for use in semi-automatics. And I believe what it is the small base dies actually resize for closer to minimal tolerances for easier cycling through a semi-automatic rifle. So what I was thinking about doing was taking one of those, that lead capping resizing die, and grinding off the decapping pin, and just resizing these cases because let's see here. I believe no, this isn't it. Well, anyway, what I did was after I came down here just to experiment a little bit, and what I did was, as you see, these rounds. Hold on a second. These rounds are all dummy rounds. Okay, they are. What I wanted to do was make sure I had my crimp and bullet seating set properly. And as you can see, these have case neck deformation. It's got a little divot in it, and that was because I had the decapping pin set down too far and it was resizing too much. But I finally got it set right, and I ran 5 rounds of. This is another one. I ran 5 rounds up, just dummy rounds. As you can see, no primer, there's no powder in these. Just to test it. There's a decent crimp on there. It's not extreme, but you can definitely tell that there's a crimp on the round. You can kind of see in the light, when the light hits it, the little bit of a slope heading towards the cantilever of the bullet. So, but my point was that that the resizing die will take this little shoulder out and resize the case properly again. So I could potentially recover all these cases because I only had like 185 to start with. So now I'm definitely down, and as you see, I already bullet pulled these ones. They all have live primers in them. I'm going to do the same thing with them. So I mean, it's just a beginner's reloading mistake, and a costly one at that. Because like I said, if for some reason, I decide to take that die and ruin it for the sake of saving this brass, because I know I can't decap that live primer, that's pretty much a no-no. And anybody out there watching this video, if they're thinking about it, don't. Okay, if I can give you one piece of information, do not use a decapping resizing die on a case with a live primer in it. It will explode. I've never done it, but I've heard horror stories, and I don't want to do it. So yeah, that's my little story for the day. So, for reference, for anybody who is thinking about reloading 223, 5.56, just be careful. Do a couple dummy rounds first. I really should have done that. I really should have paid more attention, but I was so excited to start doing this that I just kind of, something you shouldn't do with reloading. I rushed. I was a friggin' idiot, and for that I pay. And I put a lot of time into reloading these rounds because, as you can see, this is what I'm working with. I'm working with a single stage press. You know what I'm saying? So, but luckily, one thing I haven't really had to do is trim cases. So that brand new Hornady trace camera or case trimmer right there that cost me $80 from Midway is almost null and void because all these rounds were shot out of my rifle, and they're all like right below the trim length that they need to be. So I don't have to trim any of these cases, which is great. I've only had to trim, I think, 4 cases. I think I trimmed 4 out of this 93. So that's a pretty good average, and they were only like 3/1000ths of an inch off, over the required trim length of 1 3/4 inch, which is 1.75 0 inches. So, I mean, that's, like I said, I just wanted to share that with you guys, and hopefully somebody learns from this. And the bitch of it is, like, I was looking through YouTube, for a better part of this week trying to find somebody that had a similar experience with the RCBS dies, but I couldn't. And then finally today I came across a thread on AR15.com that somebody had the similar problem with their RCBS die, and everybody pretty much gave the same same diagnosis, that they had the die body, which is actually what does your crimping, set too deeply. So that was really good to be able to find that thread, and again, that was on AR15.com. I don't remember where or whose username or whatever it was, but this is the RCBS bullet seating and crimping die, and for all intents and purposes, it's a really good die. It's a really heavy-duty die. I've never had RCBS die before, and these are really nice dies. I've always had Lee. As you can see, that's my Lee, a 9mm set for Lee. I've only ever reloaded 9mm before this, so reloading rifle is a new experience for me. And if anybody's got some tips out there, please feel free to share. Keep the negative comments to a minimum. I understand I fucked up, so you don't have to remind me of that. But like I said, I mean, that's basically the gist of it. And then maybe when I get this bench cleared off a little bit and cleaned up and organized, I'll give you guys a tour of my reloading equipment. That's pretty much it for this video. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything, please feel free to leave them below. Really looking forward to hearing back from you guys. Have a great night.